This isn't Sally, but this face is really entertaining to me. What is it? Where's Ath's hair? Like, I don't like his human teeth.
Oh, I have heard this complaint about Sonic and human teeth before. Where was it again? I can't remember. Anyways, maybe it will come to us while we are in the main show. Hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast. Where and why and Keyframe wonder about why Sonic looks this way. Oh, and random dribble, I guess.
There we go. Now it's clean.
The world has been improved. Talking about world improvements, well, that's a segue. Also I realize I'm very loud. Sorry for that. Somebody tell me if the audio is bad. I can't figure that out myself.
Talk that maybe in the pre-show.
Normally I do. That's true, but not today because today is special. Talking about world improvement. He's back. Silver Quill! It has been forever and is only the third time on the show. How did this happen? Why did you refuse to come back for so long?
I refused nothing. I was lost in a void of miasma. A bitter area of loneliness. Cast out. Forgotten.
That sounds about right.
This is what
in
we
other words,
heard
2020
in
happened.
our door for like a few months, and then we were like, no, we have to. No, not even a few months. I think the last time we had you on was 2 years ago in 2020.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a bit.
Wow. He's been crying outside of the AWKWARDCast HQ for 2 years.
Let me in!
Witness me!
But now, for this very special occasion of our 207th episode, we are glad to have you back for this momentous moment. But since it has been so long, and people might have completely forgotten, please do tell us, who are you, what do you do, and why should people care?
Well, all excellent questions, which I don't know. But maybe you know me better as Silver Quill. I am the reviewing hippogriff in the Brony fandom who talks about episodes and, oddly enough, compares them to Jungian studies and also old stories. So I've been doing that for, good lord, a decade, just about. I've had this thing where I go to conventions and people are like, oh, I used to watch you in middle school. Now I'm an art major in college.
Ooh. No. Oh, those moments. Scary. Single time.
Those moments. So why should people care? Well, I continue. I'm sometimes at a glacial pace, but I do keep my reviews going. And I do try to make each one unique and distinct to the episode. I'm currently working on getting Common Ground reviewed, but I have set it up as an EQSPN Sportscast.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
With coverage by Silver Quill, commentary by another Silver Quill, on the scene with yet another Silver Quill. I've got Silver Quills with different sports jackets.
Where have you gotten so many other Silver Quills? I thought you were unique.
Well, it turns out my name is Legion, for we are many.
Makes complete sense to me. Also, I just noticed, which is just fun, like a very recent video on your channel is about Pony Finder, which is, fun fact, the first thing we 3'd together.
It is indeed. We're Keyframe and the Dread Hippogriff.
Oh, yeah. My God. Fucking blast from the past.
Yes.
I've still got that video in my archive.
I was about to say, if I go in here and look
no,
on this
don't
channel,
go back. That's when my audio was so bad.
There it is, actually.
No.
Just showing 7 years ago. Just showing that
7 years.
7 years ago. Ew.
I know.
We almost have 2 generations of school children going through high school from freshman to senior year in the span of this video.
Oh, look at this. Oh, boy.
I am asking nicely, don't.
You don't hear anything, so it's...
I know what the audience does, and my audio was so bad back then.
I muted.
Oh, you muted.
I always mute. First of all, reducing the chances of getting stricken or copyright ID'd or whatever. And second of all, this way we are still audible for the audience.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. And it's even worse when it's audio that is us on top of us. So it's just like, how do I split between 2 of you?
Although what I don't understand is why there is an ad, because I don't monetize my videos.
Wow, looks like they got to your older ones. But yeah, there was an ad playing. Lovely.
I feel like there's a Hasbro intern who's like just assigned to watch my videos and manually claim them.
They like our character design so much that they're like, nope, they're ours now.
Mm-hmm.
We are Hasbro.
We are officially the A&Y Pony, Silver Quill, and Keyframe Inkwell are official My Little Pony characters, which means if you ship one of our characters with one of the characters
Fun
from the show,
fact. Fun fact. So back in the day, I once had my channel actually monetized, and over an OC in a thumbnail of a podcast, mind you. So the video itself was just like right now, 3 talking heads. Over an OC in the thumbnail, they gave what do you call it when they are like not eligible for monetization?
Demonetized?
They demonetized it, and I was like, why? And they were like, thumbnail, and I'm like, yeah, that is an OC owned by the one podcast guest, drawn by the other podcast guest. This is okay. And they're like, no, we keep it still demonetized. And I was like, guys, I just started working. Fuck you, I demonetized my entire channel. Life's too short to stress over those cents. So yeah, that's why I demonetized. Yeah, that's why I demonetized my channel. I'm not sure if ever since the algorithm hates me. I mean, I also stopped doing my original content. But yeah, story of my demonetization. Anyways, Silver, since you re-established yourself on this show to our audience, what's going on in your life?
Oh, life has been full of twists and turns and changes. I got a job at a print company for labels, and we were considered an essential service throughout the pandemic quarantine. Why? Because labels are tangentially linked to the meat industry. You need someone to print those nutrition facts.
We needed our steaks to be labeled.
Darn straight. But it was a very toxic environment, and with a lot of shouting and people getting mad very often. So I'm no longer there, and I'm okay with that.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm in the great in-between, but reconnecting with myself in many ways. Getting to go back to conventions has been a real highlight. Let's see, Harmony Con this year, and then we just got done with Winnie City, where I had the joy of seeing Keyframe in person.
Hi.
And then
that's my only contribution.
No, we could talk all about. I could share a video of Keyframe enjoying a breadstick.
No, we don't. We don't.
Permanent marker infused breadstick.
No, I can explain. I can explain context for that, but we don't need to have it on screen.
Oh, I'm happy to help.
You know what? We appreciate your enthusiasm, but it is not necessary at this moment in time.
But let's see, and let's talk about COVID, because a lot of my. This is the week after when you see the week we're currently. I don't know. Do you guys start a new week on Sunday or Monday?
Monday.
Monday. I'm the same. So after I got back from Winnie City, my uncle-in-law, now a widower, was coming out to visit with his fiancée, but they had a cold, and I was going to show them around my home city of Denver and help them get settled into a hotel before they took a trip up to the mountains. But turns out they didn't have a cold; they had COVID. Fun. So first thing I did was test myself to see if I had COVID. Nope, just a sinus infection. But they are now quarantined in my parents' home. My parents are in New York trying to have both a college reunion and help my godmother, who fell and hurt her hip. Oof. I'll be picking them up on Monday to get them back to their home, which has 2 quarantined individuals in it. And I'm like, wait, how's that working? mom and dad tested negative, so should I get them to a hotel? I don't know. This is all happening very fast. Basically, several people I know and care about have had COVID recently. More, in fact, than when the pandemic was at its height. And I'm startled. I mean, granted, I don't want anyone to get COVID, but for some reason it's become more of the personal immediate in the past year. And I don't understand why.
I mean, the explanation is easy, is that the strain that's currently the dominant strain, while it's less severe, is more spreadable. So it just kind of happens. Also, we have the whole thing of getting the second booster is not really easy in America right now, unless you're 65 or you're 12 and up and immune compromised. All of us in the middle, they've just said, fuck you two, and we haven't heard anything new since April.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I still am not eligible.
Neither am I. That's fun. Pray that places don't require you to have 2 booster shots yet. It's well, how the fuck can? How the fuck can?
How you do? How you do?
How you do? Should I lie? I'll say that I'm 12 years old and have a thyroid issue. Just stick me in there.
I believe that.
Haven't we established that you are basically an old lady in a young body? So just play your old lady card.
The official lore is that I'm secretly 67, like a 67-year-old hippie, and you're 5 years old. We've had this discussion about the deep lore here.
Well, I don't know where I stand, but I can just put on my old man. Back in Mary Day, if you wanted a shot, you took it to the Tookers for the team.
Yep, he sounds old enough. Give him the syringe. Also,
Odie, how developed of 12-year-olds have you met? Honestly, someone saying you look 12 years old. That's concerning. What are they putting in the milk these days? You're looking good for your age, Keyframe. Hey, thank you. Eat your veggies. But, yeah, so besides all the fun COVID happenings, anything else happening to you? Do you want to share some anecdotes about you at Winnie City? You did a lot at Winnie City. You were barely in the vendor hall.
That's the funny thing. I was vending and I hardly actually got to be in the vendor hall. I owe a huge debt to my friend Joey who staffed the table, and all I could provide was a sound button that said, "That's a good question. Buy something."
Oh, that explains this empty table right here with nobody before in front or behind it.
Someone just needs to draw a silver in the back, just hey. No, that's what you should have done. You should have gotten a piece of paper, draw your face, and then just stick it on the wall and just be there you are, now you're here.
Now I'm here.
Get a cardboard cutout of Silver Quill and put it behind
he kind of did, if you look very closely over here. It's just not tall enough.
I'm just saying, if you got a cardboard standee like Egon over here, of
yes,
yourself,
he's been staring at me since we started.
He stares at everyone.
He's making the eyes for you, Mr. Quill.
Mr. Quill.
May I bust your ghosts?
May I see your scold mores and fungus, Mr. Quill?
Let's try to cross our proton streams.
Oh my.
One day I have to move you back off camera, but I'm too lazy.
No, I will tell a story of what happened after you left Key. After I would wave goodbye to you and Lux, and you drove off.
Yes.
My intention that day was just to take it slow. Take it easy. I'd had a wonderful week with the Illustrious Q and Trinary in Chicago, and then the convention doing 10 panels. 10 panels.
Damn.
But then, while I'm having the third breakfast of that morning, yes, third breakfast. This is how my life is going.
Like a hobbit.
Like a hobbit. First breakfast was with my vendor hall buds, but then I got back in time to see Key and Lux, so we went right back to the same place to have what was my second breakfast, a smoothie. And then Assassin Monkey and Earth Pony Creations and a whole bunch of folks got food from the exact same restaurant and had a long table in the hotel. So I sat down just to chat things up with them. So I realized this is my third bloody breakfast. What's going on here? What am I going to do about lunch?
You're Groundhog Daying your life just at breakfast.
But then Charlie comes up and he asks, is anyone here have a flight later than 5 o'clock? AV needs to store a bunch of stuff, and, well, they need an extra set of hands. So I raise my hand, and lo and behold, I am now off to Wisconsin.
Huh.
The storage facility is a 45-minute drive. A drive-through, I didn't know about this, a drive-through storage area. Let's see if
What do you do? Do you throw it out the window? Like, how do you do a drive-through storage?
Well, I mean, first you got to talk to a receptionist with a really broken speaker. So I was like,
would you like to that?
Yeah, like every other drive-through.
Could you repeat this? Sorry?
Somebody on, please. It's the greatest day.
Excuse me? Can you, please?
Help!
But yeah, please continue.
Anyway, so I get to lifting and carrying some stuff up. And, you know, it's actually a pretty quick deal. We brought a U-Haul in, and, pardon me, I'm just trying to pull this up in my memory. So we got it all set up, and it goes real smooth. But some of the stuff is heavy. I mean, these were dividing poles, metal plates, speaker stands, lots of walkie-talkies. Oh, excuse me. A bit of the sinus infection there. And it's all going well. We break for lunch, and this is the thing. Our choices are the Bratwurst Bar or the Cheese Castle.
The cheese...
Excellent choices.
No, oh my god, you are in Wisconsin. What the hell?
The Cheese Castle. I cannot believe this was a thing. We went to the Bratwurst place, which is loaded with puns. I mean, you know, they really do their worst.
I mean, who wouldn't? The Cheese Castle?
Yep, it's a thing.
I mean, it's a great name.
Let's see here, but now I finally managed to share my screen, so let's see if I could share. Yes.
Uh-oh.
See if I could do this.
Yep, and everything is destroyed.
Oh, yeah,
I have to stop.
It would, yeah, don't, if you have something to share, just put it in the chat.
Oh,
and
of course it is.
We'll put it on the screen in the middle.
Okay, well, here you go. Here is...
Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
Will this actually work? It's a HEIC extension because, you know.
As long as it plays, I mean.
Okay. Oh. I guess I download it. And I see what happens. What do I need to play it?
I feel like it should play on most media players. Nope.
One would assume. So,
okay, this is
I can't share screen.
It loaded as a picture. Curious.
What did you take this picture with that has an HEIC file?
My iPhone.
Oh, the evil one. Wait, so a QuickTime player should do the trick, right? Do I still have that?
In theory. Is it a picture?
Yeah, it's just a photo.
Oh, it's a photo I could... Oh, yeah, the photo loaded. No prop.
Huh.
Okay, so... Here we go. Wait, no, it was already on screen, wasn't it? Here we go.
Yeah, that is an indoor storage. Drive-through storage.
Okay, now I guess I get where the drive-through part comes in.
Okay, my mental image of it was totally not this.
Like a McDonald's. Like you drive through and you have a little window where you then unload your packed boxes upon boxes and then continue driving.
I was thinking of like a Burger King.
Yeah.
So we had two different states of minds. But yes, so you went to...
I had two different states of travel that day.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
So, and the best part, though, was at the Bratwurst Bar. Half the crew, Coach and Garth, who I really just got to know on this trip, love puns as well. Dashi and the several other folks there do not. So we had quite the dichotomy going right then and there.
I mean,
So it was
I've been on the front end of your puns. I can only imagine what happens when it gets doubled.
Oh yes, it's quite punishing.
Ah! Okay.
So we had an entire lunch of puns. It was glorious, I tell you, glorious.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but by the time we got back, all my plans for the afternoon were gone because I had to get to the airport, and I swear O'Hare is insane.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
O'Hare's the worst.
Oh,
I got to
second
stay
worst.
an entire night there once.
ugh.
Yeah, it's great. They made me late to my connection in Las Vegas, so I had to sit at the Las Vegas airport for like an extra 4 hours.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was a fun time getting back home from Winnie City.
Oh, I know that feel. My flight was delayed by an hour at the start. Then, when we touched down, they said, okay, we're going to have to sit on the tarmac here for a while. All of the gates for Southwest were occupied, waiting for refueling, but they only had one refuel truck. So we had an additional 45-minute wait on the tarmac just to get into a gate. And I just thought, waiting for the plane to get in is its own kind of patience test. But when the end is in sight, when you are wanting to disembark,
Yeah.
oh Lord, the tension was awful. I hope it lasts.
Arguably, it's worse when it's like you're about to fly up, and it's a a nonstop flight from this location to your home.
Yes.
And then it's like, no, we're on the tarmac for God knows how long. I had that when I went from New York to California once. Flew JetBlue. And I love JetBlue. JetBlue's great. They need to fly to more places. But we were on the tarmac for the length of the entire Boss Baby movie and one half of the fucking Ron Howard Beatles documentary.
How would you know that it was exactly this long, Key?
Because I watched both of these things.
While standing on the
and I
tarmac.
was live tweeting the Boss Baby one, and I was like, okay, the movie's over. Where am I in the air? And I opened up the window, and we were still on the ground. The engine was running, but we weren't moving.
I wonder how much fuel they were burning.
But yeah.
But yes, so I got home at like 2 in the morning.
Fun.
Didn't really go to bed until 4 because I just needed, you need to just like decompress for a minute.
Yeah.
I know that.
Meh.
So I'm just also looking. I can provide the video of Keyframe and the Dread.
No.
And the Dread breadstick.
I've been saying multiple times the opposite of this desire, which is no, do not.
Yes, I know, but I am ignoring that feedback.
Why do people ignore me on my own show? This is.
I'm in favor of
this
being
is
an
my
ass.
show.
Max, do you want to comment on this?
I mean, the K in awkward stands for Keyframe. It is.
Oh, there we go.
Let's ignore the fact that Max's name makes up 2 of the letters and mine only makes up 1.
Wonder about.
But actually, I do want to give mad props to Keyframe, who was a champ throughout the whole weekend. She hung in there with a full Celestia cosplay throughout the charity auction.
Yes. I mean, it worked since Nicole was a guest there, but all the guest of honor were gone by the time the charity auction started, which is sad because it's really fun when the guests of honor get involved with the charity auction. Lord knows the BabsCon charity auction was great when Ellen Ray, the voice of Mistmane, came up on stage and was like, I will give a 5-minute uninterrupted hug to someone who bids on this thing. She's a fucking treasure. I love her to bits. She's crazy, but I love her. She knows she's crazy, and I love her for that.
Well, I loved after the script reading panel with the guest of honor, Nicole Oliver said, "Oh, to me, I really like your voice." It's like,
Aww, that's really sweet.
I mean, it is your bread and butter.
My bread and butter. It's like, butter me out.
A special shout out to Jenna Warren, who's the new voice of Sunny Star Scout. This was her first first convention where she was a guest, and she's such a sweetheart. She's just a young little thing, and she's just so sweet and kind.
We'll make her jaded and cynical within a week.
Excellent.
I hope so. But she's great. She's great. She's younger than me. I don't like that. She was born literally in the 2000s. I don't like that. I don't like thinking that there's people born in the new millennia that are actually like in their 20s and everything. Like no. That doesn't happen. Y'all are still in school and all of the 90s were 10 years ago. That is my statement and that's where it's going to stay in my world.
Sounds about right.
Look, I was born in the 80s, so I've come to accept that I'm a fossil.
I mean, both of you were born in the 80s,
Yup,
and I was
and
born
we are
in the
both
90s,
fossils.
but yeah, so... But the thing is, the 90s are starting to get classified as fossils. So what does that make you guys? Uber fossils?
Yes.
Ooh, we're prehistory.
No!
We are in the before time, in the long ago.
You guys are fossils, I'm a mummy. I don't know what this...
We were starring. Silver and I are starring in all the shows that Paleo watches nowadays. I'm the one with the really long neck who likes to eat from the top of the trees.
I'm the one with the really short arms that everyone loves the jaws. Rawr.
I don't know what I am. I'm not a dinosaur, apparently. I'm what came after. I'm a cave person.
Ooh, Keyframe.
No, I'm not a dinosaur. I'm one of the puppets from the show Dinosaurs.
Oh, that sounds like something that...
Not the mama.
No, I do not want to be the baby. Out of all of them, I'd rather not. I mean, I don't want to be the dad that doomed the world either. So if you're picking a character from Dinosaurs, all of them die. So.
What about one of the creatures in the refrigerator that's always scrambling whenever they open the door?
Would they have lived through the Ice Age? That's the question.
What if Indiana Jones can survive in a refrigerator? So can they.
It's a fair point.
But anyways, so is that all you want to talk about your recent goings, Silver?
My recent goings. I'm just trying to think of any other. Well, there was at HarmonyCon. I got into something of a jujitsu fight with Fiora, trying to pay for lunch.
Oh, with like your cards? No me.
Let's see. Here I am. I've got this bag of of books for my friends, video game books and Japanese horror from a bookstore. There's actually this really great Japanese shopping square in Austin, Texas, which I only recently learned about. But we go for tea, and so with this bag weighing me down, I'm trying to slide my credit card into her. Into the reader. She's trying to hand money, and we're both trying to block each other. So, crossing arms, and I'm saying, no.
I've had these exact same fights with Max, so I know exactly the visual you're talking about. Instead of jujitsu, it's more like a Western standoff where it's just who draws it faster, and the other one gets a death glare. The amount of times I've stuck the card in the reader faster, and then I just see this 6-foot-tall German man stare down at me, being like,
"How dare!"
Thank you. It's just.
Well, eventually, Fiora did emerge the victor in that one, but I got that was the tea. I got the lunch.
Ah.
It all perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
So it all plays out, but I've made it a running joke of how I swipe the check from people.
Ah.
You do. You definitely do.
I do.
I see a new challenger. Can't wait for the next con.
Enter the field. What else? Also, before I even took off to Chicago, some friends from Fresno, the collectible card game guys, Grandpaws and Cheese and Aracat, who, by the way, Key, sent you their best. They so enjoyed seeing you at BabsCon.
Oh, they'll regret it soon enough.
Yeah. We met at a bar, this really high-end bar called Death and Company, which is the weirdest name you could give for a fancy bar, but there you go. They
what's more
changed up their
fancy than death? Don't you know that most royals die?
They do, and then it becomes this major event.
Uh,
But they had a drink inspired by Dune. It was Spice
Dune?
Melange. Dune.
But was there sand in it, or how did they invoke the movie?
A worm? Like,
Well, there were definitely bitters involved. It was dark, but all I could think of was a sandworm coming down the street, raking it up, smashing through the entrance. Shai Halud, party of one.
But yeah, so we'll put a pin in you live a very exciting life. So we'll put a pin in that because we're already a half hour.
True.
No, I can't blame you for having an exciting life. You haven't been here for 2 years.
Mostly, okay, I'll tell you, those 2 years were mostly in quarantine. So things were not terribly exciting. Things were not terribly exciting at that point.
Yeah. But I'll be quick with mine. I was at Winnie City. Cool. And MomoCon. But but MomoCon came and went. It was really fun. Got to hang out with the DA crew. We went to a hibachi, which had 5 birthday parties going on. Oh my God, the energy was great. Because, all the hibachi people are singing and then everyone's joining in. There was a table next to us who just kept getting shots. And they were just the funniest people on the planet. It was the compared to the 2 times I've been to a hibachi. So these are both Benihanas, by the way. I went to a Benihana with Max for my birthday in the before 4.
So long ago.
And it was really calm. It was serene. There was one guy at another table who was just totally slack-jawed in amazement at the hibachi chefs. Yeah, there's us. That's cool. But then and then this one is just pure energy. It was what the fuck? I thought I left a convention. This has more energy than the convention did. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. MomoCon's always great. I got to meet Jason Marsden, the voice of Max Goof and all that stuff. He's a real sweetheart. I got to meet Bill Farmer, who, if you don't know, is the voice of Goofy and the voice of Hop Hop in Amphibia.
Nice.
And I didn't realize that I met him until the very end. So I'm a VIP at MomoCon, so I was in the VIP lounge just decompressing, and this old man walks in, and he's sitting at my table. We're chatting. We're saying how loud the autograph area is and stuff, because our table is right in front of the autograph area. And we're just chatting, having a good time, talking about how good it is to be back at cons after quarantine. And then one of the liaisons are Mr. Farmer, it's time to go to your panel. And I was like, wait, are you Bill Farmer? And he's like, well, yes, I am. And his speaking voice is just like Hop Pop's, except without the southern drawl. And I was like, cool. And he was like, it was nice to meet you, young lady. What's your name? It's like, Chrissy, nice to meet you, Bill. It's like, oh, thank you. It was great to meet you, dear. Have a good one. He's such a sweetie. Aww. And also, Marston walked around with little ears and a tail. I'm sure he's a furry.
Nice.
He's so cool. Jason, come on our show. I miss you. I wonder if I can find it. He signed my PKE meter.
Oh.
Wait, you brought a PKE meter?
Well, of course. I mean, if at a convention, you need to be prepared for everything, including and especially ghosts.
The secret is I never wear actual pants to this show. But it's because in Extreme Ghostbusters, he played Garrett, the kid in the wheelchair. So he signed my PKE meter. Oh. And he said, I don't bring Garrett prints to the con often, but this time he did. And he gave a free one to me. We had a 10-minute discussion about Ghostbusters and stuff, and it was just really cool. He's such a sweetheart. This was the highlight of the convention, besides cosplaying and being the only Power Girl cosplayer and 50 people taking pictures with me. And that was really heartwarming because I was really scared to wear this cosplay. There is a certain level of confidence that I was like, do I have this? Well, I don't, but I already bought the costume.
No, you got this.
And then you just went through with it.
Yeah, and a lot of people like it. Yeah, but yeah, when he happened, it was great. I got to punch Paleo. I said Jax played with Stare, and Jax continues to be one of the goofiest, nicest people on the planet. Vended there. Vending went great. Someone stole a shadow box. That was less than cool. if you stole a rarity shadow box from Winnie City PonyCon, you're a hoe, and not a good hoe. You're a hoe covered in dirt. But like, that was great. And I had a panel. I did Cracked Memory, which you may know from Three Idiots, and it went really well. Like, we were in a smaller panel room, right? But it was filled with people. And like the audience had a great time, the contestants had a great time. We had a little family there of a dad, the daughter, and the brother. And the girl was they were up on stage and as the contestant, and at we had these buttons that they could have pressed any time to be a lifeline, so a random person would have gotten selected to draw that particular drawing, and if they won, they would have gotten the point. And all of the contestants saved their lifeline for the last drawing of the last round. And we picked the dad to be the one. The dad knows shit about ponies.
Excellent choice.
Last drawing of each round is also audience suggestion. The audience person suggested Lyra and Bon Bon in Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep when they look like Cat Dog. And I gave the hint. You guys ever heard of Cat Dog? And Dad actually got pretty close, so that was great. And
he did an okay drawing.
Yeah, his daughter actually won. And she was so thankful. And the dad even said to me, "You were the best panel host I saw all day." And I was like, that's the nicest thing. And I had people coming to my table being like, "Oh, that panel was so fun. Please tell me you're bringing it to Cider Fest and everything." It's like, I was feeling I had some people asking why I didn't bring You Suck and Why That's Okay to Winnie City. And I was like, I only have the energy in me for one panel this week. I picked that one. But yeah, people want the positive panel about sucking. Cool.
Also, since the question came up, this is a shadow box.
Yes, it's a 3D papercraft piece. So basically, you can see the layering, and it casts shadows. We have normal ones, and then we had special effect ones where the eyes follow you and they glow in the dark. Those sold super fucking fast.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, yeah, that's our Chrysalis one, but the one we premiered was a Flutterbat one.
Oh yeah, wait, there's also one down here, isn't it? There it is.
Yes, Flutterbat was the one I made new. Like, this is our newest thing that I made for Winnie City, and all of them sold on day one. Sorry if you didn't get it. Sucks to suck. But I was really happy. I wanted to do this since, like, BronyCon 2019. I was like, I'll make it in 2020. And then we blinked and 2022 happened. So, oh yeah, there was the winner of Cracked Memory. Oh, they were such a sweetheart. Very talented, too.
Very.
Yeah, they won a signed Sunny doll. And then my neighbor for the vendor hall named Shotzi, who sells they print t-shirts at the con with a t-shirt press, and also they sold like official toys and stuff. I was helping them out during the convention, and like I bought like one of their biggest items because they were like, we don't want to drive home with this, and I was like, sure, I'll buy it, and I submitted it to the charity auction. They were like, one of the best like vendor neighbors we've ever had. When I came back to my table to pack up after the closing ceremonies, I just saw a pile of shirts and hoodies on my chair with a little note that says, "Thank you for being such a great table neighbor." And now I just own like 7 different pony shirts now.
Nice.
Which is cool. But they also gave me like free toys to have as prizes, so that like the Celestia that glows in the dark and all that stuff. Basically just went to different vendors and was like, what's your lowest selling item? And then they would point it out, and I would just buy it so I could give them as participation prizes. I'm liked in the vendor hall, I would assume. But yeah, the con was super fun. I love Winnie City. It's a small con, but man, is it great. The charity auction was so much fun. I got to do some charity stuff with AC and Paleo, which was delightful. They are both very delightful boys. I did drink mustard soda and eat a Sharpie-covered breadstick for charity. I literally said with the breadstick, I was like, if someone donates $100 for this breadstick, I'll eat it. And the guy just started the bidding, was like, I'll just give you $100 right now. It's like, anyone want to compete with that? No? Okay, I'm eating a breadstick. And if Charlie doesn't give me community guest at Cider Fest after all I did, I'll have words. I'll have words. But Charlie's great, so yeah, that's been my life. Sorry, went on long, but yeah. Anything happen to you?
Yes. One thing that when did I? No, I'm trying to. Yeah, I started a new collection apparently of yellow belts. I already had one in. Whoop, wrong button. No. Yeah, so many years ago I made Taekwondo actually up to blue belt. So and this includes the yellow belt on the way up. And then for reasons of when I started my apprenticeship, which had odd hours, and so I had not really time to go to this Taekwondo school regularly enough. So I switched. However, the college sports program in my hometown included Jiu-Jitsu, so I started Jiu-Jitsu. Made it up to yellow belt, then stuff fizzled out kind of. I switched sports away from martial arts to general fitness, and this was that for quite a while. Now, people might or might not know that Denim Ninja actually is a black belt in Kenpo Karate. And, well, we have been looking to find a dojo for her here in a local one, where she can pick up where she left off. It's a slightly different school, so for fairness reasons, she started back from white belt, and I also joined her because A, technically I like martial arts, and B, I also needed to get back into workout after the last 2.5 years. And so yeah, long story short, we are now official both yellow belts in Kenpo, which makes my 3rd yellow belt overall, and for Denim it's her 2nd yellow belt in Kenpo. And yeah, karate is fun, as she says. And besides that, one other thing, like 2 weeks ago, so this was during MomoCon, I believe, I used the awkward time slot to get a little band of nerds together to talk about the state of the MCU as it is right now, like motivated from us having seen the new Doctor Strange, and going about the shows and whatnot, and it was like, what is it, like 2 hour or so debate, even longer, maybe a bit over 2 hours, I believe, was the runtime. If you're up to date on the MCU and or not afraid of spoilers, I put the link down below. Check it out. It's me, Yuri, my buddy Yuri, and British Ninja, and Manga Jack. Going all on about our thoughts on where it's currently at, and what we hope from it, what we expect from it. Yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, beyond that, life has been relatively normal. Just working, playing games, watching shows, of which I will talk during the media section in a bit. And yeah, that's life. That's life. Taking it slowly, having a good time.
Life, the universe, and everything.
basically. Then I guess we can move on to the media. I will send Key a message. But yeah, nevertheless, what did you bring for the media today? For show and tell, so to speak.
Well, I brought several books that I've been reading, and with mixed opinions of them. First up is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, which, if you don't know her, I found out about her as an author. She's teaching a masterclass in writing. Mm-hmm. And, but boy, here's one of the weird things. I can appreciate all the technical skill and how she presents and how she builds this world. But as we follow the fifth season focuses on 3 characters, Esun, Demaya, and Cyanite. And you don't really understand the bond between these 3 characters until the last fifth of the book. At which point it all clicks, and then you're like, okay, now I get it. But my gosh, it was a slog to get to that point, because this is not a happy world. I mean, everything is messed up. There's no happiness. There's no jokes aside. It's all very serious, super serial, y'all. Which leads to my second book, Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie. This one was also very technically skilled, but also everybody's kind of miserable in this, and they're all drinking tea. Everything is tea. You could be camped out in the wilderness, and you'd still have a tea flask on hand. I do not understand. The premise in this book is that a ship, actual spaceship, has ancillaries on board, humans who have been modified to be an extension of its will. Some are criminals, and this is their punishment. Others volunteer. And so they are basically the ship's consciousness overtaking the human body. But one ship is destroyed, and all that's left of it is one ancillary, which is now on a quest, and we learn its quest as it traverses and encounters people from thousands of years ago, because cryogenics is tough. But basically, it's the consciousness of a ship trying to navigate a human world, which is interesting. But again, everybody's really serious. Everything's a bit of a downer. And even in both books' cases, they don't resolve even the short-term conflict. It just opens the door to the larger sequel-bait conflict. So, again...
No book can be a one-shot anymore.
It doesn't feel that way.
No. Tell me about it.
Everything must be a franchise.
But I did just find it hilarious how everybody is drinking tea. Now, some tea is really gross, and some tea is really elegant, but it's all tea. Does nobody appreciate a good can of soda? Here, gotta get the product placement in.
There we go. Excellent.
Just put away the leaves. Have some water. You know, they say drinking water helps with depression. So, stay hydrated.
Hail hydrate. So, which brings us to the third book, because I just needed something fun. I wanted something a bit irreverent, which is why it's weird for me to say that Interstellar Gunrunner fit the bill. I mean, you wouldn't think so with that title. This is by James Wolenack. And how to best describe this one? It is a guy who is an arms dealer, but he is this charming rogue who is always quick up with words and trying to cover up his massive flaws and bungles. So basically, he is the liar revealed on hyperdrive. I mean, every 5 minutes. This one, he's willing to have fun, to have a laugh. This is strangely lighthearted, despite some very dark ideas in it. I like for an example, this is just a little bit of a spoiler. To achieve faster than light travel in this series, you do not have a technology that can bend space and time. You have a technology that puts you in touch with an eldritch god.
Oh.
You have to meet the god's price to allow them to pinch your ship through space-time and barter. Now,
$3.
Now, our protagonist has a painter on board, and he sells these paintings to their god, their personal chauffeur, if you will. The hegemony that rules this place, their warships pay another god in pain. They actually torture people on board to achieve faster than light travel. So the narrator, who is the main character, it's first person, he's saying, so how bad do I seem now knowing this? I mean, he actually presents a lot of whataboutisms to excuse his own choices. But it is charming, and you just see him dig himself deeper and then pull himself out somehow. And actually does have these flashes of morality and just humanity that, realize he's a scoundrel, but he does have a heart. So this was the most fun book I've read recently. And I would recommend it.
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of Yahtzee's Would Save the Galaxy for Food.
Yes, I read that too.
Yeah. I don't think... I'm not sure from your synopsis of Interstellar is just as silly as Would Save the Galaxy, but it seems the protagonist seems to have a similar energy.
The protagonist has a similar energy. I'd say it's a little bit more serious than Yahtzee, but at the same time, despite the darker aspects I've described, it is pretty funny. And the situations are pretty hilarious. So
would you say
3 books.
It's a dark comedy?
Yeah, it could be a dark comedy. You should see
who
his.
do you think would like it, and who do you think wouldn't?
Who would like it? I think sci-fi fans, anyone who likes a good Han Solo style character, would definitely enjoy this. I think anyone who has very strong feelings on war profiteering, and how can I say this? Given the tragedies we've seen, I realize that talking about a gun runner right now is not the best thing to talk about. It is a comedy, but it is profiting off firearms, and that is a hot topic right now. So I can understand if people will still steer clear just for that premise. I don't know. Oh yeah, and also fans of crime stories, because this guy does work with a lot of criminal organizations.
I mean, Gunrunner kind of requires it, but yeah.
Gunrunner requires it.
So that was your current assortment of literature. That's the word.
Yeah.
See, I got it in the end.
Excellent. Tries, but you got there.
Yeah.
Now, I do think the 5th season, for those who are really for high fantasy, would really enjoy it, but also appreciate a good mystery and perhaps the technical nuance of how Jemison presents all this information.
Also, I'm an idiot. The 5th season is the title of the book, and it's not the 5th season of something. It's still a standalone work, right? Or at least
it is a standalone work that leads into another story.
Fair, but it's not the 5th installment in a series.
Nope.
Good to know. Okay, just second. The name got me confused.
Stay tuned for the 5th season squared.
So the 6th season? No, the 25th season.
Yeah, we're getting into Simpsons territory now.
Oh, Jesus! No, please don't. But yeah, thank you for that.
You, Max?
What about me? Indeed,
Mr. Spinner Boy.
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I am not spinning anything. Anyways, so no.
There's no video evidence.
My heart bleeds about the topic from earlier, where I mentioned that I actually do not that I have muted all the videos that I play for years now. Because the next one, it has such a great catchy tune. My media is my life as a villainess. All paths or all routes lead to doom. I believe I mentioned in some context. This was actually in the context of the MCU roundtable, where I was like, yeah, fuck the MCU, and the statement was like, yeah, but it's all the media nowadays, and I'm like, no, there is still endless amount of anime, because I'm getting back into anime, and I want to use short synopsis about the anime in and of itself, but then I want to give a short breakdown on the topic of adaptation. What's the premise of the show? You have this brown-haired girl who is a high school student in our reality. who likes to play dating games. And then, as it is tradition in anime, she gets into a traffic accident and dies and gets isekai'd.
Oh no.
Oh yes. However,
you know what? You complain about MCU and everything being homogenized there. How many animes currently going on are isekai?
Yeah, I know.
You
But
are a hypocrite.
not really. Watch my MCU roundtable, then you know why the problem with a repetitive genre is something very different than an entire cinematic universe that keeps you locked
Wait till you
in.
find out that this is connected to Sword Art Online.
I highly doubt it. But yeah, point being about Villainous. She gets killed, isekai'd, and but then she wakes up in the body. Then she gets reborn and slaps as a 6-year-old or 8-year-old or something. She falls over, topples over, hits her head, and suddenly the memories from her previous life as a high school student come back, and she realizes, holy fuck! I'm in the dating game that I played right before my death, and I am the Villainous. The actual protagonist of the dating game is Maria, the little blonde girl on her side. She is a protagonist who gets to date all the beautiful boys going to the same magic school, and she is the antagonist, the villain for 2 of the routes, and her endings are either getting killed in a sword fight or getting exiled from the place, and therefore.
I feel like we've had a would you rather question like this. I feel like we've had a would you rather question like this, like in this show, about being like the bad guy in a game or something.
Yeah. But yeah, point being, so she gets in there, and now with the foreknowledge, because she's still a little child, with the foreknowledge that she is now in this reality and all the characters from the show are actually there, and she is the embodiment of the Villainous. So she now knows about the events that will go down in her later in her life during the magical high school time. So she puts everything into preparing for the bad events to happen. However, she's also, due to all this knowledge and due to her personality from her previous life being awoken in her, she is a super nice and kind person, and everybody around her just adores her, and she doesn't realize it because she is dense as a rock. And all the other characters are like, what is this eccentric shit you keep talking about? Because she constantly monologues to herself about video game and villains and whatnot. And she's also so oblivious to everything going on about her.
Get to an obnoxious level of dense?
No, it's like because she also gets called, because everybody around her is like, oh, you are such an idiot, you are so dense. And she's like, what are you talking about? But it's charm, she is charming. And the anime itself looks very good. It's very smooth. I mean, you have seen the intro. That is basically the quality of the show. It looks all very smooth, very pretty. But I have to say, this show sucks as an adaptation. As in, you have, especially at the end of the first season, you have 2 episodes that feel absolutely wrong. Like the characters, like they stop acting as individuals. They just all act as a unit, except for her. Characters do things that they should not do within the lore, and I am 100% convinced that those are filler episodes, allegedly still based on the novel, the light novel, based on the still existing in the light novel that the manga is based on which this anime is based on, but there is no but it does not exist in the manga. So the showrunners had no clue what to do, and those 2 episodes feel completely unorganic and stiff and a pain to watch. And in general, they stretch out the plot of the manga, and there's so much, because I have also the manga. I have read the manga, and it is The manga is clearly superior because it doesn't do all this fluff, all this filling, all this inventing of entire plots. So visually, the anime is great. The manga is it's more smoother, more to the point, good shit. But what I find so curious about it, and I will keep it short, I talked previously about Nagatoro and how much I love the show. In Nagatoro, it's the other way. I would say the anime is superior to the manga. Because the manga is a little bit more disjointed. It's like more anecdotal, small stuff where they manage to spin a more ongoing progression throughout the first season. And they combine all those small anecdotes into more or less cohesive episodes. So you don't have the feeling that it's just like shorts being lined up into an episode. So that was just having seen both shows back to back and then having started to read both the mangas. It's just like this weird thing. Even with adaptation, you never know. Sometimes it's an improvement. Sometimes it's an obvious or a clear whatever the opposite of an improvement is.
A downgrade?
Yeah, downgrade. I guess let's go with downgrade, yeah. It's like curious. I just found it curious. Generally, if the anime is still fun, I can still recommend the anime of Villainous, assuming you are not completely outdone, tired of isekai by now. Because yeah, it is an isekai, but isekai is just a setup. The question is, what do they do with it? And I would still say it's an entertaining one to watch. But if you have the feeling it gets a little bit too, the pacing is too annoying, or that the supporting cast acts too much as a unit and too little as individuals, read the manga. And with that, I conclude my media. Keyframe, did you also bring something?
I technically brought two, if that's okay.
You go ahead.
One of them, well, it's 1.5 because the first one's more first impressions, and the other one actually I have stuff that I have like a more cohesive thing. So I'm actually talking about my first impressions of the Netflix anime Supercrooks.
Yeah.
Which here, I'll put the trailer.
Oh, okay.
In the chat. So I saw it actually first when me and Max were watching stuff on Netflix and it was being advertised.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, I looked more into this one and I watched it. I'm kind of sad that we didn't give it a chance during TV time.
Because it's good?
It's really good.
I just saw the trailer and I was like...
Because it's actually based off a graphic novel from the people who made Kick-Ass and Civil War comics. And God, what was the other one? I know that I said it in chat. Oh, and Kingsman. The Kingsman original graphic novels. So it's... But yeah, it's called Supercrooks. And the show is basically about this guy named Johnny Bolt. And this show is more of a prequel to the graphic novels, with the graphic novels overlapping more in the final episodes, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I know that they overlap in the final episodes. But it's basically about Johnny Bolt, who is this guy who had his awakening and has the superpower to manipulate anything with electricity. You just saw he could snap his finger and affect anything. And he wanted to be a superhero as a kid, but he accidentally caused a giant body count and was like, I can't be a hero, so I'm going to be a villain, and basically becomes a petty crook. And the show is basically about that and a crime syndicate and all that. And he's just like, Johnny radiates cool. Like, if people find the art style of this show similar, it's from the same studio that does Space Dandy and My Hero Academia. So, very well animated. It's a great looking show. And the Johnny Bolt in the English dub is played by Jonah Scott, who plays Legoshi in Beastars, who already has just one of the best voices for anime dubbing. But I've seen the first 3 episodes. This show is so much fun. Like, it's hot. There's great chases and action. The characters are all super charming. Like, it's just a good time. And I really feel bad that I kind of was like, oh, it's just a show about supervillains, huh? I feel like maybe we weren't fair to it.
It's ironic because you were just like with isekai and we're like, oh, everything is an isekai. And I'm like, no, give it a chance. However, this was exactly my reaction. Another show with superpowered villains as a protagonist. I have so many of them nowadays. And here we are.
Yeah,
Same
the thing
difference.
is, it's not like Suicide Squad. They're not like being hired by the government to handle a big bad. At least that's not the story so far. It has a lot of energy of bad guys without like the whole thing of, oh, Johnny wants to be good, but like that kind of just like everything is just so organically charming. That's
they
the best
might
word.
they might be crooks, but they are not evil.
Yeah,
They are no bad guys.
they just want to get through.
You might
And,
be
like,
villain, but you're not a bad guy.
The show is really fun. Like it's and I genuinely like everything I've seen of the show so far. And it looks good, the music is great, like it can be actiony, it can be funny, it can be sexy, it can be all these things. It's really cool. And I don't know if it's getting another season because Netflix says, "Oh, we're going to make a live action Supercrooks show now."
Oh no.
Why does everything there's my thing. Why does everything that's a comic book or graphic novel need to become live action? You want to know what translates the best to most superhero things and things that have like out of this world powers? Animation.
Because in an animation, it doesn't make a difference if you animate somebody walking or somebody flying. But in live action,
Want, especially with powers like Johnny's, which is all electricity.
Yeah, and in live action, this screams horrific looking CGI.
But yeah, so
I'm
I'll probably mention this.
Sorry, I'm flashing back to Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, Johnny definitely radiates some Spike energy, which I mean, automatically makes him a character I would like because I love Spike.
Except of course for Netflix live action adaptations, like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
You already suppressed the memories, I see. I finished it.
We've been rewatching Cowboy Bebop together, so we could see the moments that they ruin in the live action version.
And I finished the live action version this week, so be thankful that I picked Villainous as my media.
But like, yeah, so I actually recommend watching Supercrooks. I'm going to come back to it when I finish the whole thing, so probably next week. But yeah, I know that supervillains being the protagonist is something that's saturated, but I guess like I'm going to eat my own words is that saturated doesn't mean bad, just means that you have a higher standard. And I think this fits a higher standard, so give it a chance. Also read the graphic novel. The graphic novel is really good. So yeah, but that was my first impressions media. The thing I wanted to talk about more thoroughly is I've been in my free time watching failed Adult Swim pilots. So pilots that never, became a thing. And I'm trying to just find the theme song, but the pilot that I want to talk about is actually based off a comic book that I read, a graphic novel series I read for a while called the Eltingville Club, or as the series was called, Welcome to Eltingville. And this show, I am so mad never became a fucking full series. It's basically about these four nerdy guys who are just the worst people on the planet. And it is made by people who know every comic booky, sci-fi, TV show thing. And the pilot's just, 2 isolated incidents of them. Sorry, that always makes me laugh. Of one of the nerds has a VHS tape, a bunch of apparently topless shots. Yeah, that's the one thing that's the one shot I don't like. But and it turns out to be a fake tape. They have fights. They're a very toxic friendship. The graphic novel goes into that. And then the second portion of the pilot is they find a boxed Boba Fett doll, and they have this trivia off that lasts 5 minutes. And I'm mad at myself because I knew most of the answers in that trivia off. And the thing is, this show, with a couple adjustments, would still work today because it's not Big Bang Theory nerdiness. It's this was made by an actual nerdiness. Like, I love the art style. I mean, I love 2000s looking thick outlined, looks like it's from a comic book kind of style, so I love that. But it's one of those pilots where you just feel disappointed that it didn't come to fruition. And I guess it was from 2002. So that's how old this pilot is. Oh my god, it's 20 years old. It's 20 years old this year. Ew. But like, it's I think Pan talked about it on one of his failed pilots videos. But I really think that if you like geekdom and things making fun of geekdom, you would really like this pilot. Because it, in a weird way, it foreshadows a couple things. Like, there's a whole little side thing where it's just like, you got to admit he's dead. There's no way Boba Fett could be alive, Daryl or whatever. And he's look, all I'm saying is that there's no body, not dead. And just like Freddy Krueger and he listing off things. Well, now we know that he wasn't. So
he should have been.
But he's not.
Should have stayed gone.
I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff in it because I really think people should give this pilot a chance and read the graphic novel. The graphic novel is so good. It gets a lot darker and more of just oh yeah, you don't root for any of these people. They're all terrible people. I think people who It's Always Sunny would like these characters because you like shitty people. And shitty things happen to these shitty people. They don't succeed in this pilot ever. So it's just ha, you're pathetic. I like you. And I guess people who don't like him people who don't like call out posts because I know someone who's every single one of these characters. And I guess if you don't I guess if you don't like characters who you're not protagonists who are not good people, you may not like this pilot. But I don't think it's a Rick and Morty nihilist is presented as correct. The creators know that these people are terrible people, and they never try to present that they're holier than thou, which is something I miss. Because there's so many protagonists and things nowadays that are just shitty people, but it's written in a way that it's you're supposed to see why they're shitty and agree with them. No, you don't agree with these nerds. They live in their mom's basement, and for good reason. They're nerds. And you'll feel like you want to steal their lunch money by the end of this. But it's really good, and I implore people to give it a chance. I mean, I implore people to watch failed pilots all the time because it's interesting to see what people create and don't get greenlit, seeing the potential of the world. Yeah. But I know this is a very niche, Chrissy thing.
And then seeing the things that get greenlit or extra seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Endless seasons.
The world is a weird place to live in.
But I mean,
the world is a vampire.
This didn't get greenlit. I think the only contemporary of this that was out at the time would have been maybe Venture Brothers in just how it looks, because this was 2002 Adult Swim, so it probably was just like Aqua Teen stoner comedies, so Aqua Teen Hunger Force and a bunch of weird shit.
I mean, some of the shots designed reminded me very much of Clerks.
Yeah, I think a character designer from Clerks worked on Clerks animated series. You would like this, that, or Mission Hill, or other shows that should have been given longer run times but didn't. Let us remember there are still episodes of Clerks we have not seen air. Not happy about that. But yeah, so it's on YouTube. The full episode is on YouTube, but it's a TV rip, which I don't like because if you're listening to it through headphones, you're only going to hear it out of your right ear because it's that kind of TV rip, which makes no sense to me because the episode's been out on DVD for since 2009, because Adult Swim released a whole DVD set of pilots that never like went through to full shows. So it would be very easy to get a DVD rip of this. I don't know why no one's put it up, but I mean, I literally bought the DVD off eBay, so I'll have a DVD rip. The way you can watch it properly is just contact me. But yeah, so welcome to Eltingville. If you want to get called out, watch this show. Watch this pilot, and then buy the graphic novel. It's on Amazon. So yeah,
Well then,
that's my medias. Crooks and Nerds.
Crooks and Nerds. That's also the great title for another show right away.
Crooks and Nerds.
Let's produce it, just the three of us. But yeah, before we move on to the Q&A, do you have anything to say about this Art of the Week, Key?
Why? Because I'm in it and it's a Beatles reference?
Yeah. I mean, you can probably say more about it than me, who is just like, yeah, this is fan art referencing a Beatles cover by Brogart's Art featuring...
I don't even know what Beatles cover it is.
The Abbey Road.
Thank you. Okay, I was about to say, if you can't get Abbey Road, which one of our friends is literally named after.
Yeah.
Is
road?
Abby the fourth member?
There's a hint. I mean, let's keep in mind, Max also willingly chooses to think of the Ed Sheeran versions of Beatles songs from the movie Yesterday.
Hey, dude.
Well, I don't know. You could adapt that to lots of things. Abbey Road, take me home.
No!
To the place.
Don't besmirch
I belong.
Okay, I could kick you. I made this group.
But yeah, but apparently you had constructive criticism about the art, as in the Beatles was wrong.
Oh no, yeah. I was gonna say I love the art,
but
to think that you, Max, are in the place of a spiritual, super like Hindu loving, like
yeah, that should be Lauren, right?
Spiritual George Harrison is not correct.
Yeah, so this
you're more like. I mean, John was also kind of like a give peace the chance guy, but he was also a little bit more of an asshole. So I feel like you would have fit more there. Lauren's more Paul. Brett's more Ringo. I'm more George. So I think like that's the arrangement here. However, I do look good in white, and I mean you got the whole blue thing going on. So
there you go.
Well then,
though. I'm worried, though, Keyframe, your legs are almost Princess Sally lawyer.
Brogard style. We're not going to critique the art style. Brogard did a good job.
Oh, he did a very good job. The Sonic artwork has put me in sort of this hyper-alert state of legs and thinness, and I don't want you to break in a strong breeze.
I mean, if there's anything that is out of the ordinary, it's I do not have thick legs. My dad's side of the family, all the women have Amazon thighs. I have Amazon legs too, but I also have the downside that I was born 5'6" and not 6'2" like everyone else in my family.
But yeah, to move on to the...
Just took an Amazon and just went, and there's me.
But yeah, to move on to the Q&A, the first one coming from Odie right here out of the chat. Who is Yoko in this lineup?
No one, because I don't want to insult anyone. I don't know, Tim?
Me?
Yeah, you could be Yoko.
I'm Yoko in the Coco.
Yay! But
No.
there you go, there's the answer.
But yeah, real first question. The good old traditional would you rather from J-Rock, potentially in reference to yesterday's Three Idiots, Disney's Super Battle Bracket. Check it out, link down below. For all three, time for a Disney would you rather. Would you rather be forced to eat Jafar-style crackers, I guess the Sultan's style crackers,
Iago crackers,
or eat squishy forest grubs like Simba? It's not an easy one. Therefore it's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Well, is Iago force-feeding me these crackers?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd still go with the crackers.
Really? Why
dry crackers?
Okay, you've got the saliva that can help with that.
Maybe
But still,
maybe through the first 2 or 3, but after that. But please continue.
well, I mean, you could work with that, but it's still better than grubs. I don't know any way to justify eating grubs.
Well, I can, because I'm going to pick the grubs.
But just think of it this way. You have Gilbert Godfrey doing a sort of guy dom making you eat crackers. So that's surely someone's fetish out there.
I mean, I wish I had, like, a soundboard and I could have the Gilbert Godfrey. Holy fuck, is this wrong?
But now that you mention it, Silva, I'm pretty sure there is a drop-down on Furfinity for exactly that.
I wouldn't doubt it. But rest in peace, Gilbert Godfrey. But
no.
But apparently you're part of a BDSM fantasy.
Yeah, with Iago from Aladdin.
And crackers.
But yeah, Keyframe, grubs, because we have many questions as far as I can tell, and we need lightning round, which always worked whenever.
Because, well, bugs are a viable food source in most of the world. Just because we don't have it here in America and like many parts of like European countries doesn't. And in our lifetime, we'll probably start incorporating bug meat into our diets because it's a more viable source of protein and a better and a more ethical way for the environment. So I'm just getting ahead of the curve. Also, according to Simba, according to Timon, they taste like chicken.
I don't know. I'd like to get the cricket's opinion on this.
Is that a cry for help?
I think so. I think they're reacting quite negatively.
Or a self-advertisement pointing out how juicy those cricket legs taste, especially with honey.
I mean, also, when I was younger, I did have a bet with one of my classmates on if I could eat an entire sleeve of saltine crackers without any water in under, like, 2 minutes. And I did it. I didn't feel good afterwards, so I don't want to repeat that experience with a fucking parrot.
I can't believe it. But yeah, I will actually also join on the grub front. While I agree. If you would be like, hey, here, have a bowl of grubs, and I would go like, first instinct is like, no, this is not food I'm used to. Crackers, technically I am. But so many of my heroes in especially animated movies end up eating grubs. It's I'm not sure what the English what they say in English, but in German they are like slimy but full of vitamins. So
in English, it's slimy yet satisfying.
See, and yeah, if you think about this, it's a matter of getting used to, and once you're getting used to it, it's probably something that you can eat better than stale, dry crackers.
Also, we're humans. We know how to cook. We can make it into a nice stir fry. We won't even taste it.
Also, apparently in Snowpiercer they eat bugs. Even though, from what I have heard, they ate other things as well. Still need to watch it, so no spoilers, please. But yeah,
I got my friend.
That's not a spoiler that I say they eat people. Anytime I think of the snow and someone saying they eat other things, I just think about people who get stuck in the mountains and become cannibals.
Based on a real life story.
I got a real life story for y'all.
Oh boy.
I once bought from a Korean mart a can of silkworms. And I gave it to my friend, Cruelica, and it sat on her pantry shelf for at least a year before she threw it away.
I thought the thing was going to be that they, like, hatched or something.
That would be terrifying. But no, she would not even consider cracking the can to see what they look like. So I think it's a harder sell with some humans than others.
Look, as long as they're not roaches, I refuse to touch a roach from a mile away. I have a phobia of them. But if they're just worms, it's like, eh.
Yeah. But yeah,
next question.
Exactly. To the Discord. Okay.
There's not a lot of questions in the Discord.
So actually, Twitter ruled supreme.
So Kafka Laughs asks, what is your favorite literal language joke? Here's a pick for...
Yup, seeing it.
So yeah, taking stuff literally. Please, could you go...
Yeah.
I have to think about that. I do love jokes, mostly because I have so many people that I know who have English as their second language that these don't become jokes.
Here's a really sad thing that I know that those kind of jokes have happened often enough in my day-to-day life, because I basically I use more English than German nowadays, like in every potential way, except for the specific category of communicating with my family. But yeah, none comes immediately to mind.
That is these jokes. So that's the thing.
But I'm pretty sure that Silver knows enough for me and enough by himself to cover for me.
Well, I can give you a cross-cultural joke.
Okay.
This was courtesy of my father for one time when he was working contracts with a motor company in Japan. And they were going through this model, talking all about it, until there needed to be a little debugging. And the Japanese investors were like, wait, what? Debug? What? They thought we needed like aerosol cans or bug spray all the cars. They did not know what debugging was.
I like that one.
So they took it quite literally. So the only way that could have been more perfect if it was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Hey.
I'm trying to think of one that I have, because like I know that I have ones that I know of, because Lord knows that kind of humor is the exact sense of humor of most of my friends. But God, it can't come to. I don't have it in my brain right now, because it's like. I mean, that specific example would be the one that I pull up. I know that one. I'm sorry, but I do approve of this.
Yes,
humor. But I approve of this.
Yeah. And just trust my word. I have had this kind of conversations. Believe me, please. But
yes.
Yeah, I guess with this collective failure on our end, except for Silver, of course. Back to the next question. I mean, it's good for the lightning round. So, now here's another one that will go over swimmingly. Paleo asks, what is your favorite dinosaur and or prehistoric animal?
There we go.
Yeah, of course. Let's see.
Can I go first?
Oh, sure.
Favorite dinosaur.
Ever since I was a little kid, the T-Rex really is my favorite. The king of the dinosaurs. I don't care if they found larger or more powerful predators, or they've tried to redefine the T-Rex as a scavenger. It has always been this iconic image of a time before humans, and power and beauty and danger all rolled into one.
I mean, I think my favorite dinosaur is probably like a Bronchiosaurus. You know, little foots, long necks. And I think that's just because I watched Land Before Time a lot. But also, they just look fucking doofy looking. I mean, look at their long necks. And they could slap people with them. They just look funny to me. I just... That and plesiosaurs, because to me, the concept of a dinosaur that can swim is terrifying.
But with a long neck, it's even worse. It can get you in the water before it even catches up to you.
Yes, okay, Bronchiosaurus, whatever. A Brontosaurus, is that the actual name? An Apatosaurus? Blah, blah, blah. Wah. But yes, so my favorites are plesiosaurs and littlefoots. What about you, Max?
The one, what's it right? The Indominus Rex. That was a really impressive one. It was like so terrifying. It had so many things, and it was also very smart. So,
it's just a raptor supersized.
Yeah,
It's 90% raptor.
It's it's raptor with the sneezes of other dinosaurs.
But I'm pretty sure if you have a gun with a laser pointer and you point this gun at somebody, you can make the dinosaur attack them.
You know what works even better? A regular gun.
Yeah.
Oh, this
'Cause
movie
you know
was so
what?
dumb.
The gun doesn't eat people.
And then, of course, when it winks at the camera, hey, kids, I'm going to get him. Oh, I got his arm.
Ah.
God dang. But yeah, so let's see. Next question. All right, Denim asks, give us an elevator pitch for 2 movies. The catch is one pitch is for a movie you haven't seen. Then see if the other 2 in the chat can guess is which. Okay, this one's going to be fun. So let's start with the movie we do know, and then we can do the one that we don't. So,
Wait. But then, if we start with the movie that we do know, then we know which one is a fake one.
No, I mean, like, the thing is, we could pitch a movie we haven't seen, but we know of the movie's existence.
Yes, but the entire idea is you pitch 2 movies, and we need to figure out which one is the real one.
Just guessing what the movie is because we're not saying the title.
Is this how the...
I thought this was in the equivalent of like a poorly explain this in the worst way possible.
The catch is one pitch is for a movie you haven't seen. Then see if the other 2 and the chat can guess which is which. I guess you can read it both ways.
Yeah, this was up for interpretation, but I guess we could just give a pitch for 2 movies and you could see which one is the one we've seen and which one isn't.
Okay. Now I need to... Obviously, now you need to come up with both movies ahead of time. Otherwise, it's too obvious which one is the one you fake.
By the guessing yesterday. Okay. Oh, yeah, like lying that you haven't seen some of the Disney movies.
Exactly.
Okay, so one we've seen, one we haven't seen. Gotcha.
I also try to be like... And here's the tricky part. We talk so often about stuff that we have seen and haven't seen that... between you and me, Key, that we need to pick something where where the other one hopefully doesn't know if we have seen it yet.
Yeah, I know.
And this is true for both even, Jesus. Can't be anything from cinema over the last few years because I've talked about all of those on Awkward.
Aha! See, this is where my exile works in my favor.
All right, then why don't you go first,
Yes.
Mr. Man?
Alrighty. Well, okay. So, in this one movie, you have a convergence of multiple realities, and you can get superpowers by doing things like shoving things up your patoot and giving yourself paper cuts right between your fingers. Ow, ow, ow. Now I know Kung Fu. So, that's real fun. And there's this Chaos Being, and she's just terrifying.
Is that everything, everywhere, all at once?
Should we wait until I give the other pitch? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, okay. There's this historic betrayal. And basically a guy grows up vengeful and full of violence, and he is just taking it out on the entire world around him, and everything's all in grayscale because it's cold. It's so cold.
Okay.
This sounds like half the movies in existence.
I think I know what that one is. I think I know what that one is.
That's probably the trick. The second one wasn't any specific movie. He gave just a general pitch that applies to so many movies that there must be one he hasn't seen yet.
All right. Can I make guesses?
What the movies
Please
are.
do.
I'm going to guess that the second one was Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and you haven't seen it.
Well, it's true I haven't seen Justice League the Snyder Cut, but that wasn't what I was describing.
Damn it. Black and white, though. That's why I was thinking.
Yeah, but
there's
with
a
like...
gray cut.
What was it? Some injustice happened to you and you are angry with the world and let it out against the world. So we are kind of following the bad guy of the story. Wait, is it bad guys? No, there's no coldness in bad guys.
It's not bad guys.
Is it the Batman?
It's that bad.
So, are you quoting Denim Ninja there?
It's poorly lit.
Nope. Not that. Although, should show you the...
Sin City?
Oh,
Wow.
that's good.
Yeah, wow, I really did go generic on this one.
Wow, I mean, like...
Okay, you want me to give it away?
Yeah, please give away what the movies were, and then we still have to figure out which one you actually have seen.
I was trying to describe The Northman.
Ah, okay.
Well, I have not even heard of that one. And the first one was Everything, Everybody, All of the Time, Every... Oh, geez. Yeah, but was it?
Yep, you guessed it.
Now, which one has he seen and which one hasn't he? My guess is, ironically, because he went more into detail on the first one, that this was a red herring and he just described scenes from the trailer or something, but actually hasn't seen the first one and only the second one where he went intentionally super broad strokes.
So you're saying the second is the movie I've seen?
Yes, and the first one is the one where you just faked your way well through with actually not having seen it.
Okay.
Keyframe?
Keyframe?
I'm going to go with you. I think that's the correct way to go.
Aha. And there's your flaw. You both think I'm more intelligent than I really am.
Damn it!
So I take it you
No.
have seen Everything Everywhere, but you have not seen Norseman.
Not yet. Hopefully you see that with friends next weekend.
Ah.
But
Right. I'll do mine.
but yeah, you both thought me so clever, and I appreciate that. But I'm not. I'm just not.
All right, so I got mine. So here's my first pitch. So this doctor is strange. In that he thinks that doing like cardiological based science will help cure him and his friends, but instead leads to tragic consequences that leads to him and his friends breaking apart and also many people dying. Also, it ends with a beautiful scene in the desert.
Ah.
And then my second pitch is that in this study of cynicism versus optimism, this family is about to lose their home and life until a tragic incident comes to their forefront, and it's up to them to solve this mystery and clear the names of their loved ones, while also exploring bravery, risk-taking, and being the constant cynic versus the constant optimist.
Well, the first one I would guess is Morbius.
Yep, the first one was Morbius.
I mean, I appreciate that you were trying to go the strange route, but I will not be deceived.
You will not be deceived.
Honestly, I want to say the second one is Knives Out.
It is not Knives Out.
Okay.
That would have been a nice one. But
What's your guess?
restoring the family name. I have no clue. I mean, I also had no clue for the first one since I haven't seen Morbius.
The second one's the Bob's Burgers movie.
Which I also haven't seen. No wonder I couldn't identify either. Now, the question is, which one has she seen and which one hasn't she? So she must have seen one of those two. Unless she's trying to bamboozle us by actually having watched neither, which I wouldn't put beyond her. But normally she does this kind of stunt when I tell her ahead of time to do it, which I didn't do this time, so I assume that she has seen one of them after all.
I am following the rules. I can assure you of that.
Uh-huh. So
I'm going to say that she saw Bob's Burgers and heard about the scenes of Michael Morbius.
Okay, that's your guess. What about you, Matt?
I mean, here's the thing. From the two movies, she would be more interested in watching Bob's Burger because she is actually, she does like the show. While Morbius, she would only watch for the meme. But no, it's with going to the cinema and everything nowadays. So unless somebody got a rip of it and they watched it in a server with friends, that could also be. So that she got around to watch it because friends were putting it on, while Bob's Burger is still on her to-do list.
I will say, I definitely heard... Key introduced me to the meme Morb.
Morbin
Well, yeah, me
time!
and Sophie were set to do. Me, Sophie, and Luximus were just using morb as like a verb, like how the Smurfs use it, and just say we were morbing all over the place.
Oh my.
But it's not that hard to make memes of Morbius
Think
without
of-
seeing it.
Jesus, Key. Think of the morbs. Don't morb in front of them like that and talking about morbing.
You're talking about I morphed several times this morning.
Yeah,
I morbed before I got out of bed.
We're always morbin. When we're not morbin, we might as well be dead.
Every day I'm morbing.
But yeah, okay. To Craig. So your guess was that she watched Bob and she faked it about Morbin because she heard it.
That's my guess.
I will be the contrarian. I go the other direction. I say like some of her friends put it on as a watch party in a call. That's how she got to watch it, even though she wasn't actively searching for it. And Bob's Burger is still in her to-do list.
Max, you know me better than anyone else. It is. I have seen Morbius. I saw it illegally. And I have not. I was supposed to see the Bob's Burgers movie at MomoCon, but all the people who were going to go see it with me canceled because they were too tired. I have only heard the soundtrack for the Bob's Burgers movie and watched the end credits. Like, no, not even like the ending scene, just the credits of people dancing. So yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? If I'm scarily correct with my thing of what the Bob's Burgers movie is, because I didn't look up a summary. I only know the trailer.
Okay.
I'm gonna be very interested. But
Yeah.
what about you, Maxie?
So
I loved how you summarized it.
yeah, movie number one. It's about a dude, family father, working his job, but he is not feeling fulfillment up to the point where he basically doesn't even have the will to live anymore, and he is basically ready to end it all. But then a literal angel comes to him and is like, "Yo, dude, don't do that. I show you what you've got in life." And he takes him through a journey of seeing all the good stuff. And this basically kind of sounds like a Christmas Carol, but
Yeah,
it's
you're
not.
making it sound like Christmas Carol.
No, but there's another one with angel, or not ghosts of Christmases, where an angel is like, "Hey, look, this is all the good, the lives you touched. This is the good you brought to the world." And at the end,
Are you talking
he's
about
like,
Jimmy Stewart's "It's a Wonderful Life"?
and at the end, he is like, "Yeah, I don't want to go hops anymore. You convinced me, dear angel." And
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life, but you did it like jive talk. It's like, or ebonics.
Like a-
Yo, brother,
like a-
don't be
like a
tripping.
beatnik.
now about my other movie, which might convince you even more than my first one. You see, it is about, ironically also about death, but in this context, the dude is dead. He did die, but he was a big dude, and people are now like, "Whoa, what's up with him? Let's revisit his entire life and find out the meaning of his final words."
Oh,
I couldn't go with anything recent, so I needed I
know,
dug
but
out.
I love picking nearly public domain classics like "It's a Wonderful Life" and Citizen Kane. Like,
but I'm still. You're adding these ebonics. I mean, check yourself before you wreck yourself off that bridge.
we need
A
like
shizzle.
a bongo drum, so it's like slam poetry.
Why is this dinosaur still there?
I was going to do the hops, but then an angel came.
But yeah,
Okay. I don't think you're artsy enough to watch Citizen Kane. So I'm going to claim that you haven't watched Citizen Kane. Oh, but here's the thing. You're pretentious enough that you've probably seen Citizen Kane. See, I imagine Max would be the pretentious type who's seen Citizen Kane and is like, "I think it's overhyped." Like,
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Well,
exactly like that.
Uh-oh.
So that's the conflict here.
I
The
am.
thing is that I don't
very
know how
sophisticated.
prevalent Christmas movies are in Germany. You guys got little fetus Jesus coming to give you gifts, so.
Excuse
it's a
me?
Wonderful Life. Have you ever heard the Christ child?
Not fetus Jesus. That's a new term.
He has been born in our local folklore, thank you very much, or in our local tradition. But no, we don't have Santa Claus. Santa Claus comes as St. Nicholas on the 6th of December, while baby Jesus, basically the just freshly newborn, popped out of there, comes. However, in
Well, in
depictions,
afterbirth.
yeah, in depictions, baby Jesus that delivers it is kind of more like an angelic one, like probably like 3-year-olds and very long blonde hair, like pretty blonde hair. Like all those Mediterranean people actually
All
look in
Middle
real
Eastern
life, Middle Eastern, right? how they naturally look. But no, it's the Christ child who brings the presents on Christmas
Yeah, and
Eve.
then
Child
you send
is-
the kids off into the kitchen and lock the door
Yeah.
while the Christ child brings the gifts.
Oh, also it's
Okay.
happening on Christmas Eve itself and not overnight, which makes it a lot more troublesome for German parents. I just want to point out here, German
Yeah,
parents have a
lock them in
harder
the kitchen
life.
while the Christ child
Yeah.
come.
You see, in Germany,
I'm
Germany,
just saying, the fetus.
Yeah.
You talk about the fetus.
no,
I mean,
Okay,
just-
that's me just doing
Yeah.
Chrissy language here.
No, but-
so, like,
just want to point out, when we Germans lie to our children for years, at least we go the extra mile. And don't
Fair
send
enough.
them to bed first.
nothing
but I-
says Merry Christmas like locking your kids in the kitchen because a baby's bringing
No.
gifts.
I don't know how it is done in other households, but with us it was like my parents locked themselves into the living room where they then helped the Christ child unloading all the packages and putting them under the tree.
You guys must have stopped believing in that really fast. Please tell me. I feel like this is less believable.
I have a
than saying,
memory where I peeked through the keyhole and looked.
You were
the
struck
Chri-
blind.
No, and the Christ child was on the other end and looked back at me.
And
Obviously,
that's
this
how
cannot
I
have-
believed in the Christ child until he was 22.
And obviously, this cannot have been the case. And I later asked, like, I have this vivid memory of that. Did either of you look through the keyhole to irritate me and pretend to be the Christ? And they were like, no, we were just loading the stuff under the tree. So either they doubled down on the lie, or I like completely hallucinated this shit.
I could just see them duct taping like one of those baby heads to the keyhole.
No, I also. Anyways, you still have to figure out which one was a lie and which I actually watched. He gave her assumption
Okay,
of.
yeah, I'm gonna say that you. No, my final thing is I think you've seen Citizen Kane because you wanted to watch the pretentious movie buff film and have opinions about it, or you saw it in a film class, and you've not seen A Wonderful Life because I don't think American Christmas movies are that prevalent in Germany. What about you, Tim?
I am inclined to agree with Keyframe because she knows you well. And
Don't take that as a fact. Max is a great liar.
but I'm just trying to think. I mean, both are so quoted, satirized, and part of the public consciousness that you don't necessarily have to see one to be able to describe it.
I realized it when I gave both those pictures. Like, shit,
That's why
I
this
know
is
the
so
plot
hard.
of both of them.
So I'm going to say, yes, that you saw Citizen Kane, and It's a Wonderful Life you just know by reputation.
Now, here's the funny part. You are right, but for the wrong reasons.
Really?
I mean, you corrected yourself. I actually watched it in a film class, so it was a school assignment. It was not me being pretentious and be like, I really want to watch Citizen Kane. No, I got made to watch it. And with A Wonderful Life, no, I believe it actually is something that runs on German television. We have a lot of movies, especially older ones, that have been dubbed into German. Like a lot of We Are No Angels with Humphrey Bogart or whoever that is. All that stuff exists, and I have seen it as a child. I don't know why I haven't seen A Wonderful Life. Hey, they even have been theater productions of it in Germany. So it's the story is
I'm
known.
glad that I was able to pick one of the two of film class, or you just you wanted to see what the hype was about. Because look, let's not say that that's not in your brand, though.
It's true. It's true.
I know you, Maxie. So.
But yeah, with this excellent example of a lightning round question, let's see. Okay, I have two more left on.
I'm
Yeah.
going to skip the other question that Enigma asked because it would be a key rant, and I want us to end
Okay,
the show
fair.
at a reasonable time.
I dare
So
to
save that for next time.
Excellent. And I dare to say both the remaining Twitter questions can probably be answered fast. The first one by Pristine. What are some of your favorite, or let's just what is your favorite 1980s cartoon intro? Like, one of my faves is Masks, the intro.
That's a great question.
Yeah, and
What about you two 80s babies? Why
Yeah.
don't you go first?
Yeah. Well, mine would be Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Does
intro.
Oh, man.
Oh man, this is if you have not seen this.
Oh, no.
I mean, look, just here's the YouTube. Just even if you mute it, the visuals alone make it such an experience. It's trippy, but it had like the best metal introduction.
Okay, I guess I can put on it. I can put the audio. If it's an 80s thing, there will probably not be an ID strike on it. So I put it on very quietly so that the audience can hear it once this advertisement is done playing. I mean.
Well,
Okay.
I can't do much on that one.
Okay, oh, wait. This kind of looks... this looks familiar. I have seen that. But not... It was definitely running in Saturday morning cartoons. I have not watched a lot of it. But it looks vaguely familiar enough that I must have seen something of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh, but the song itself is awesome. But then you get all these lasers.
Yeah.
Everybody's being around, shooting at each other. The heroes all stoic and stuff.
80s laser in Western cartoons were just a thing in and of itself.
Oh, but that also that scene where the vine is trying to bite and you just clamp on it with an arm.
Or maybe I've not seen it, because so many of the stuff is just very the tiny.
I am adapted from a toy style.
Yeah, and a tiny girl with blonde pigtails. It's like I have seen this character in multiple shows, and this entire
That's Penny from Inspector
exactly,
Gadget.
and this entire construction machine themed. Elements doesn't necessarily look familiar. Wheeled Warriors. It's but yeah, you were right. It is quite the thing.
Well, I have to apologize to Thorsteno Liver Hyde. I know Silverhawks was also an awesome.
Oh yeah,
introduction.
this is Silver Rider. This is Silver Rider. Silverhawks is silver.
Wings of silver, nerves of steel.
But this one I have definitely seen. The Silverhawks.
I mean, that's the one that starts with a literal bionic hawk and then goes. Ting, ting, ting.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I was actually about to say something. I was actually about to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but in the title card of no, not the title card, the end card where you see other suggestions from YouTube, I just spotted Thundercats. Now, of course. Thundercats intro slapped so hard.
Oh,
yeah.
it does. Like that one.
Oh.
That one definitely does.
Sorry, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know I could sing your theme song along as a kid, but Thundercats slapped so hard. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My both. Keyframe, what about you?
Okay, my serious answer, because I was like, okay, do not pick Real Ghostbusters, because that's just the theme song for the movie. But like, I mean, my serious answer, the Inspector Gadget theme.
Oh, also a great one.
Movies aren't great, but the remix they have for the intro of the live-action Matthew Broderick movie slaps so fucking hard. It has no right to be as good of a remix as it is.
Chip and Dale.
The show that more people know for the intro than the show
True.
itself.
Chip and Dale.
My funny answer, though, is this one cartoon show from the 80s that lives in my head rent-free. And it's because it was a show that obviously wanted to use Archie characters but didn't have the rights anymore.
Aww.
And it's called the Kids Superpower Hour with Shazam, where the only copywritten character is Shazam. And it's a mix of live action and animated, and it's so bad.
Oh,
But
it already looks.
funny as shit to me, because there's a part in the intro. I guess you could skim till it happens. They have the the live action people like zoom in on their faces, and then it animates them in like this, and there's one that kills people. Where is it? Where's the blonde guy? The blonde guy's animation is so fun, because I mean this is obvious. Like, here we go, just.
Oi, 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 oi! She also had some kind of accident.
Oh, by the way, I discovered a
this is not PG. Excuse me, there are children watching. What is this lady doing?
Watch too, but like one of the characters in that who plays Dirty Trixie also played a character in the live-action Bible Man show around this time, which I'll talk about Bible Man on a later date, but that
Bible
fucking
Man.
show is so bad, but that intro is so funny. But yeah, so that's my answers. What's the second? What's the second one? Let's go.
What? We already gave answers. Oh,
I
the
think-
next question. Okay. We have nothing left on Discord?
Oh, we have the FMK.
Okay, then last one, Razor ST, or aka Tiny Griff, asks, if you could get a role in any movie, what movie and who would you replace for the and who would you replace for? I guess which character and which movie would you like to be?
Gotcha. So would we inherently have the talents of the person we're replacing?
Probably not. You would ruin the movie with your presence. Or improve if it's just bad enough.
Like that of if you could put yourself into any musical, but the caveat is you do get singing talents to be in this musical. But okay, for the movie one. Here's the thing, I keep thinking that I want to be in a bad movie, so that way I could be the best person in a bad movie. Because it's more fascinating to be that meme person that someone talks about. It's like, this movie sucks, but why is this person giving it 110% than being in a movie where everyone is good?
I mean, it says replace for the role. So it must be an existing movie in which you are just taking over. Traveling back in time.
A role that was originally played by a guy.
Of course.
Okay. I want to be the friend in Eurotrip.
Oh, wait, you want to get to bang what's her name? You want to be Cooper?
Yes, I want to be. I want to be Cooper because acting is all just pretend. I would love to be the tomboy who somehow.
And you want to hook up with Rachel Trachtenberg?
Yes.
I mean,
if we're going back in time, she still looked good back in the day.
It's true.
And they don't bang on screen. They're not like the actual main character in the German exchange student.
Damn it, Razor! I actually considered giving this as my answer. Get out of my head.
We know each other too well.
No, the one that Razor just posted.
To be Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, I wanted to be emo kid. Crawling in my skin.
Honestly, I think it would be more funny to see you be the Riddler in that movie.
Oh, okay, I have my answer now. I want to be Jim Carrey's Riddler in Batman Forever.
Oh, that would be great. What about you, Silver?
I will replace Hot Rod in Transformers, the 1986 movie.
Ooh.
And
so you'd be the voice, or would you just be animated like a cosplayer?
Yes.
Would I be a Transformer is the question. If I'm replacing Hot Rod, I would be a Transformer.
Yeah.
But I would stay out of the fight between Optimus and Megatron and just see what happens from there.
Just play Daredevil Stupid really high on blast.
Yeah, just play it real. No, you got the touch going. You got the touch! And you just let that play, let the fight go. If Optimus survives, then hey, I don't traumatize a generation of children. If he doesn't, I become the leader. So it's win-win, really.
Can't argue with that logic.
Con suggests us for Galacon 2023. Who knows what would happen? We would destroy the country.
Also, since we are already on the topic of Transformers, fuck, marry, kill.
Oh yes.
Wait, didn't we do this the last time I was on?
Did we do a fuck, marry?
Yeah, it was Optimus, Grimlock, and Bumblebee.
Okay, this time it is not just Transformers.
This one doesn't involve completely Transformers.
Yeah, so Keyframe, take it away.
So, one thing that Japan and animation has done well is making giant fighting robots awesome and epic all on their own. So let's see which giant robot truly stands the tallest and boldest out of them all with Fuck, Marry, Kill giant fighting robots. You have the Super Sentai Megazord, your choice, so I guess let's just go with the original. Voltron, or any Transformer or Decepticon of your choice. Don't give us choices. I'm going to make the choice. I'm choosing Megatron. So it's the original Megazord from Power Rangers, Voltron or Megatron. get those colorful spandex suits on and be sure to be extra weebish and those poses in tip-top form. Don't need to be pulling a hamstring or muscle. A hamstring is a never mind. But there we go.
Also, happy birthday, Enigma.
Happy birthday, birthday boy. All right, so
All right.
we
Guess
got the Megazord, Voltron, and Megatron.
the guest goes first.
Alrighty. Well, I would definitely marry Voltron, the Defender of the Universe, because that's super powered. And also just the Defender. Plus, I could probably hang with the Voltron Force. That'd be cool.
So are you marrying the Voltron Force, or are you just marrying the robot? Is it like the people who like marry the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, he's marrying the robot, but the paladins obviously have to hang around the house.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see here. I would have a good toss in the sheets with Megatron, because that pistol's got to be good for shooting something.
Hey.
Hey.
It's the only one that's sentient on its own, too.
Yeah, he's the only. Well, no. If you go by, Voltron is sentient but it is a very different sentience than a human.
Okay.
Now, if you want, here, I'll give you a weep. If you want to take the Power Rangers Megazord and make it its Super Sentai Jew Ranger counterpart, it's a god. Have you ever wanted to kill a god?
Fucking
Nice.
nerd! And you're gonna kill a god. Okay.
I'm gonna kill a god.
Oh, and now I know why. Also, good call. Good call. Can't argue with that.
All right.
So,
I think
God is dead, and Silver Quill killed him.
I think you were last time, Max. So have a good time.
Excellent. So I can rotate it the right way. Yeah. Actually, I'm a-okay with most of those answers. Anyways, yeah, I am rotating. First things first. I gotta kill Voltron. Because I'm sorry that's how I roll. Because I mean, if you specifically were marrying the original classic Voltron, then you're fine. Because I'm gonna kill specifically Netflix Voltron. Because it was such a deception. I loved it. Ne? Voltron came in with season 1 and swooped me away, and I made declarations of love in public all over the internet. And then it kept decaying and backstabbing me and getting worse and worse with every single season, and once they are back on Earth, it's just a shit show, and it was such a absolute letdown finale, and I came out of this so bitter, and now I finally have a chance for revenge, so obviously I'm gonna kill Voltron. Netflix is Voltron.
We're gonna do an FMK panel at the next MomoCon. You gotta have me on there. You can't steal something I professionally do as a hobby. So, just saying, that's your royalty payment, is that I have to be on here. So, but okay, so you're going to kill.
Then I'm obviously gonna marry Megatron, because, I mean, we will have a lot to talk about, being failing supervillains, always getting our plans folded. And it will be kind of a self-help group, and if either of us succeeds, the other one is kind of settled for life, so this is also good. So, you see, in Megamind, I wish it would be Megamind on that list. I would marry that one in a heartbeat. No, but with Megatron, you see, it's like-minded. If you want to stay with somebody for the rest of your life, it should be somebody you're like-minded with, and from those three, I can truly relate with Megatron the best.
So why are you fucking the Megazord?
I wouldn't have a good reason until 5 minutes ago, but since it's a god, I mean, fucking a god. That is on the bucket list right there under killing one.
So now I get to marry a god.
Yeah, you got your gold digger answer.
Yeah, this is more than just gold, it's world digging. Universe digging.
Good, so I guess you don't have to go in depth about why you want to marry a god.
Yes, well, I'm gonna marry the god Megazord, and I mean, whatever that implies, I don't know if I get powers, but I'll know someone who does, and if there's someone that cuts me in line at Starbucks, my god hubby can just go zzz. So there you go. If Paleo doesn't let me on the FMK MomoCon panel next year, I'll get my god hubby, and then it's just gonna be a little zzz. Oh, there goes all the Jurassic Park movies. But yeah, so I'm gonna marry the Megazord. I'm going to Does that mean I fuck Voltron? Or am I
Yes, you fuck Voltron.
fucking Voltron. Okay.
See what he can do with that blazing sword.
I mean, you are a furry, and what is Voltron composed of?
Animals,
Lion.
yeah.
It's its main appeal.
I mean, okay. And I mean, like the Megazord, but this one's not a god. It breaks apart, so I'm sure there's something creative that can happen there, and I'm not going deeper than that. Unlike the sword, AO. But yeah, and then I guess I'm going to kill Megatron. I know a lot of people probably have killed Megatron already, so I guess I'll just add myself to that list.
You're putting Optimus Prime out of a job. And Starscream as well. What are those two supposed to do after you killed Megatron? You monster.
Oh, Starscream can vie for control of the Autobots.
Yeah.
I think we should save that box full of puppies. I'm a good guy now.
Yeah, there you go. They all just decide to become just productive members of society. I'm sure they'll make a killing at kids' birthday parties.
That's going to
Would you like to go for a ride into the stratosphere?
Too, so, like, just have Megatron and Starscream go to Timmy's birthday party.
Oh, this is going to be so awkward.
We're gonna need another Timmy.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward guys. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guys. Artwork and analysis which you do not